Peace gang, welcome back to our the definitive guide to lead generation 2025 boot camp. Right now, I'm giving you guys an introduction or a sneak peek to module number two. In module number 2.1, we go into some demographic and psychographic profiling for our buyer personas. So before I give you guys that lesson, the first thing I wanted to do was just take a step back before we get into the trees and kind of discuss the fours of what's happening. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna have you guys do in the boot camp is to iron out your goals. All right, so our goal based on our business operations, specifically for our funding and procurement services, is we would like to bring in at least 18 new monthly customers. All right. So we had a sales goal for this product line that we wanted to be bringing in about $6,500 every month for our funding and procurement services. And we charge a $500 service fee plus 10% of the funds that we secure. And we also ironed out like what our participants are going to receive. So firstly, I took a step back and just ironed out like what are my business goals? And then how does that translate into the number of monthly sales we need to achieve? Also just making sure that it's very clear about like once I have these leads, having a system in place so that everything like basically flows automatically. So we've already ironed out like what these participants are going to get for our funding and procurement services. This is actually our essential tier, which is our middle tier. We have three tiers available. For this particular campaign, we're focusing on our essential tier. So this is what they're going to get. They're going to get a curated list of up to 50 funding opportunities, up to five classifications. You guys will see what that means later. They'll get at least five optimized biographies. So like the little essays that you need to write up in order to apply for the funding opportunities. They'll get 3 months of ongoing support or 15 hours. So they'll get 15 hours of ongoing support to ask any questions that they might have, or for us to collect any additional information that we need to collect. And they'll get one quarterly Zoom consultation. So, just giving them like pretty much a check-in on like, how things have gone. And then they'll also have 3 months of access to our funding management app once that actually launches. All right. So firstly, two things. I know exactly what I'm offering, and I know exactly how many sales I want to bring in and how much money. Now, here's the part that most of my clients are getting stuck on. Once you know pretty much like how many customers, it's time for us to build profiles so you know exactly who you're targeting. A lot of you guys are struggling because you don't know how to target your ideal audience because you don't even know who your ideal audience is. So in module 2.1, what we're going to do is build demographic profiles and psychographic profiles. All right. I'm going to give you guys a preview. I even color coded this. Like I said, visuals always help me to understand what I'm trying to achieve. So before we jump into the profiling, I want to take a step back and just give you guys a look at the workflow. I would highly recommend you guys do this too. It'll help you like balance going between like going into the deep details, but then also making sure you have a process in place. So let's fast forward this for a second. Let's say that we've already finished out all of our demographic and psychographic profiling. And let's say that we have both our Facebook ad and our Google ad. All right. So this is one of our avatars, one of our personas. This is a corporate funding procurement manager at a Fortune 500 company. So he's one of our avatars that you guys will see in the exercise later. This is actually Sarah, funny enough. There'll be different SKUs of Sarah. So one SKU of Sarah is actually going to be him. But anyways, let's just go over the workflow first before we go into building a profile so you guys can get excited about like what we're trying to accomplish. So let me scroll out for a bit. Okay, so let's just go ahead and assume that we've already done all our profiling. We know exactly how to target them, and we also already have all our ads in place. Okay. So this is what's going to happen. Our goal, right, is to get 18 new customers, new funding procurement customers, each month. And what we've done is broken those 18 customers into different personas. Essentially, I have six different, I basically have two different personas. I have entrepreneurs and I have students. And those two have three different versions of them. And that's what you guys see. And so that makes up six different personas that I have. So that's why you see those six different colors. So each one of these six, those are six different personas. Three of them are entrepreneurs or business people. Actually, they're not entrepreneurs. Three of them come from the business world. They're looking for business funding procurement, and three of them are students. So these are three students looking for like scholarships, grants, and things like that to pay for tuition. So those are two targeted audiences. All right. So to reach our goal, we need three conversions for each one of our six personas. All right. So that's what you guys see up here. These are our 18 conversions. Obviously, we would need probably, not probably, we would need way more than 18 in order for us to get our 18 conversions, but this is for simplicity's sake so that you guys understand the workflow. All right, so here are 18 conversions. All right, so this is what we're hoping to happen. So here's how we're going to actually like get our leads. So our leads are going to, all right, so this is one of the campaigns that we're running. So we're running a ads campaign, and it's called Fund Your Dreams for now. And this particular campaign is aimed at our big business demographic or personas. All right. So remember I said there's students and then there's businesses. So this particular ad is aimed at our not only our business owner, but specifically our Sarah Jane's business owner. You guys will see that unlike Sarah, Lewis, and Ashley are also in our business tiers, but they don't work for a big Fortune 500 company. You guys will see in the next exercise that Luis is actually the owner of a small business. He owns a luxury commercial and residential cleaning business, and he's looking for funding to help bring his business to the times. And Ashley is actually an aspiring entrepreneur. So she wants to open this new widget business. She's in a planning phase. She's looking to secure funding so that she can launch her startup. You guys will see that we've actually like picked a full demographic and psychographic for these participants. But I just wanted to give you a little introduction. All right. So here are our 18. So we have two, like basically these are our two ways of generating leads. This is a visual of a Google ad. All right. So here's an example of a Google ad that we might put together to attract our targeted audience. All right. So growth is inevitable. Funding should be too. Take expansion off your plate. We handle the search, compliance, and funding roadmap. All right. So that's one SKU of a Google ad that we'll use in order to attract our different personas. Actually, this is specifically supposed to be attracting our Sarah Jane persona. All right. If one of these personas happen to come into our funnel from this ad, I'm cool with it. But this funnel is really targeting, oops. They're really targeting, let's see, usually let me draw a little arrow. They're really targeting this demographic right here, this Sarah James demographic. All right. So this is how Sarah James is going to end up in our sales funnel. All right. So she's going to see one of our three Google ads. All right. And then there's also going to be Facebook ads. So here's an example of a Facebook ad that we might use to target Sarah James. So it's the same thing, except for this is a Facebook ad. And if you guys notice the difference, like a Google ads ad, a Google Words ad doesn't have a photo, doesn't have a like it doesn't have a picture, any of that. It just has some text and then it has like a little tagline. That's because you are targeting individuals that are typing in words related to your niche. Now, we're gonna have a whole different module. I think it's like module number 3 where we go into keyword research. But assume that this is the keyword that we've done thorough research on, and now we're trying to rank for this keyword. And now we're using a paid ad by Google to attract that audience. So that's what these ads are doing. So Sarah James would have seen an ad that says something like growth is inevitable. And you guys will see in the next module that Sarah James is a funding procurement manager for XYZ company. And her whole job is to bring in more funding opportunities. And right now, XYZ company is trying to expand and it needs to procure more funds. And so Sarah James is coming, she's, Google doing her regular stuff and she sees this ad pop up. And when she sees this ad to where it says learn more or click more, like this little link right here, Sarah James is going to click this, and that's how she's going to end up in our funnel. So once she clicks this, right, she's going to go to our landing page. That's what that website is. That's what we're going to design in a future module. We're going to design that landing page. All right, so that landing page is going to have a banner. It's going to have some sort of banner image or like paragraph. Actually, this is probably like a description. The banner probably has the image. And then most importantly, there's going to be a form. All right. So this form is how we're going to collect Sarah James's information. Super important. All right. So the form that we have is actually probably going to be just an invitation to a Calendly video consultation. All right. So let's continue. So this is still moving like Sarah James through our sales funnel. So Sarah James has come through our website, and now she has filled out this form to book a video consultation. All right, boom. We know that this is a warm lead at this point, if they actually take the time to book a consultation. All right, so they're gonna book a video consultation with us. We're gonna understand more about Sarah James's basically her goals for her funding procurement. So understanding more about like her business needs, exactly how much money she needs to secure for her funding, even find out some opportunities and find out some classifications. We could probably even present some funding opportunities that her company would be eligible for. I know that will probably really close the deal there. Like being able, so when she probably in this form, we're gonna ask some type of identifying questions so that when we come to the meeting, we can like pull up our database of funding opportunities and say, hey, we already have, XYZ opportunities identified for your goals. All right. So, in a perfect world, Sarah James is going to attend our video conference, and then she's going to, at the end of the video conference, we're going to say, all right, to move forward, the only thing we need to do is go ahead and take care of our $500 service fee. We charge a $500 service fee plus 10% of the funding procured. And for this particular tier, this is our tier where we will procure up to 5,000 in funding. All right, cool. So once Sarah James makes her payment, then she gets her assets. So we went over the assets before that Sarah James is going to receive. So Sarah James is going to receive up to 50 different funding opportunities, and these are going to add up to whatever her funding procurement goals are. She's going to have 5 different optimized essays, I should say. I put biographies, but this can be essays. So these are going to be like the 5 different essays that she can use to apply for even more opportunities. Than the 50 that we have identified. Again, she's going to get her 15 hours of ongoing support. She's going to get her one Zoom consultation, and she's going to get 3 months of access to our funding management app. All right, our funding management app is going to just give Sarah a profile that has just like lots and lots and lots and lots of funding opportunities, plus has her biographies that we've put together for her. All right, guys. So I first just want to take you guys through the workflow. So I want to take you guys through the workflow. This is how, because at first I know you guys will like do the math and say like, okay, this is how many leads I want to get, but then not actually have a structure in place to collect your leads or have a plan in place to collect your leads and take them all the way through the funnel. So this is from discovery, right? Our ads. This is an ad campaign. We're going to have also like SEO campaigns and content marketing campaigns, but we're going to first start with ad campaigns because they're the quickest. All right. So we're going to have our Google ad and we're going to have our Facebook ad. In a future video too, or in a future lesson, we're going to go over like tracking our campaign performance. So we'll be able to see how different ads perform versus each other. So how many conversions we got directly or indirectly from that particular ad. What our cost per conversion is, super important. If you got like, five conversions, but it cost us $15,000, and we got one conversion, it only cost us $1, it makes a difference. So calculating our cost per conversion, understanding how much revenue we actually made from each one of our ads. So, for example, if we were able to actually like dial into our analytics and determine that this particular ad led to one conversion, then we know the revenue we brought in from this conversion is 500 versus 1500, etc. But then you get to like this part's important because then like once you find out like that type of ad style that works for your client, you want to stick with that ad style. And if you are the client, if you happen to be doing your own marketing, once you figure out like that flavor, especially when it comes to like, for example, the images, like once you figure out like my targeted audience responds to this style of ad, I keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running that style of an ad. But anyways, we will actually have like business intelligence dashboards, et cetera, to just track how different ads are performing. Something that's super important called a ROAS, or return on ad spend. This is going to tell you basically like which one of these ads were more efficient, right? So it cost us this amount of money to run this ad, and we received this amount of revenue from that ad, right? And then you can just decide which one of these ads you want to keep running. All right, I hope this was a very informative little sneak peek to our boot camp for you guys so you guys understand exactly what we're building. You guys can actually like for real take the time to visualize what you're trying to accomplish. It'll help you in the future. All right. So in the next tutorial, I'm actually going to walk you guys through building out the personas. Let me see. Am I going to give you guys a preview? Let me give you guys a preview of this. So it's gonna make me stop sharing my whiteboard for a second. And what screen is this on? This is on, I believe this is on this desktop. Let me share this with you guys really quick. Okay, so this is what you guys have to look forward to. So in module 2.1, we're going to go over the demographics versus psychographics, and we're actually going to build you guys out a demographic and psychographic profile for each one of your personas. All right, cool. So yeah, make sure you guys come back for the next part of our tutorial where we will actually build out your profiles. And I can guarantee you, if you are having a lead gen challenge, it's because you do not understand your buyer persona. So take the time to understand who you're targeting. And more importantly, you need to get inside the mind of your targeted audience. Understand their pain points, understand like what they like, what their demographics are, understand what their psychographics are, how they make decisions, who they are and why they make the decision that they're making. And I guarantee you, your ads, your marketing is going to get a lot better once you understand how your buyers think. All right, cool. So I'm gonna wrap up for now. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, enroll in our the definitive 2025 lead generation guide. This is a boot camp. It's gonna just show you guys step by step how you take a concept or an idea and actually bring it to market. This is a sneak peek that I'm putting on YouTube for free, so you guys can preview the boot camp to get an idea of what the full boot camp is actually going to cover. Our boot camp is going to start on June the 1st. It is going to be 3 months, and it is only $299 per month for our first 45 students to sign up. All right. I'll see you guys in the next course. All right. Peace.